Well, g'day fishers, Brent from Tackle World Port Stephens with our weekly fishery report. This weekend's not looking good. Big southerly change Friday, being today actually. Friday night, 30 knotter. So big southerly change coming through. Saturday's looking a bit awkward fishing wise. It'll be good in the bay. Southerly in Port Stephens is not too bad. You can actually take shelter out of that southerly and actually the fishing can be pretty good. Offshore though is going to be a different story. Even Sunday looks a little bit iffy, but look, at the end of the day, as the weather predictions have been lately, just go wake up, go and have a look. So that's what we used to do in the old days before the internet. Used to just go. Anyway, give it a crack, I say, but southerly change due tonight. But anyway, fishing in the bay. Water certainly obviously come down. There's a lot of tea, tannin stain in the water, but it's pretty clear. And unbelievably, there's actually been a few longtails getting around the bay at the moment in that dirty water. There's plenty of bait in the bay. Longtails don't care. They've got their big eyes. They can see through it. They're interested in feeding. So a few longtails in the bay. I wouldn't say they're thick, but they are definitely there. So those that wish to go and chase them, definitely worth a shot. Just remember, don't troll around them. Don't race over to them. You've got to be patient. And those sort of smaller stick baits, those new Saltiga stick baits actually been working well on them. About that 30 to 40 gram size. So they're feeding on gars and these sort of frogmouth pilchards, I guess, are in the bay at the moment. So that's what they're feeding on at the moment. So you can give them a crack. But also there's been some good flatties in the bay. They've pushed down. I spoke to Ted Mackay there. He fished the corner of Shoal Bay. He got some nice fish up to that 60, 65 centimetres. Slow rolling pillies there, so did pretty well. So did Gary Miller, got some really nice flatties during the week as well. So worth a shot still on the flatties. The water's still warm. When I mean warm, it's about 18, 19 degrees, which is perfect temperature for flatties, so still worth a shot. Plenty of bream starting to get along the breakwalls now. So the Anchorage breakwall, Nelson Bay breakwall, plenty of nice bream. Incoming tide's going to be the key for that one. So worth a shot. Ludrick is starting to happen down in both breakwalls, also along Shoal Bay Wharf as well. Notably, there was a longtail landed off Shoal Bay Wharf. Adam said that he was Ludrick fishing there and had to net a longtail in his Ludrick net. It wasn't a big one, about 10 kilos, but there you go. So some good tailor there too, just on sunrise, right on sunrise, and obviously sunset, some really nice tailor off Shoal Bay Wharf. You can throw medals at those or throw a whole gurry out. Still some gurries there as well, so worth a shot there. And so Bay in general is fishing pretty well. Haven't heard of too many mulloway caught this week, but it's definitely going to build up to some good tides and obviously that moon to go and target a mulloway. Be definitely worth throwing some big plastics around the shallow rock walls and places like that where you'll see a bit of bait congregating, especially mullet and even Ludrick. The Deweys will sit under the Ludrick schools. They will eat them, especially the bigger models. So worth throwing some big plastics around, even some hard bodies at the moment. That's what's happening in the bay. So some good fishing in the bay, probably a good idea this weekend. Now off the beaches, there's been plenty of bream on the beaches. All the gutters have been holding really nice bream, especially up Fingal there. That gutter to the left of the surf club there, about 400 or 500 metres walk, has been fishing particularly well. Although get into it on Friday afternoon before this weather comes away, because I think it's just going to blow out a little bit. You could go and fish Box Beach. Boxy's been fishing pretty well with bream and tarwine down there, so worth a shot there. 1 mile's always worth a look too if the swell doesn't get too big there along the corner there on the southern corner near the point. But if the sweep gets in there and the rip pulls through there, it gets a little bit hard to fish. You get some good Ludrick there at times as well, some good tailor off the point there. Berubie Beach, well, like I said, if you can fish Friday Arvo, that's going to be about it for Berubie, I think, this weekend. But next week looks pretty good, so we'll see how we go there. Now, on the rocks, still a few longtails around off the rocks there if you're keen on live baiting them. There's been plenty of big tailor off the rocks, especially the points. So Barry Park Point and then 1 Mile Point and then the southern headland of Boat Harbour. There's been some really nice tailor around. I know some guys have been throwing some big pencil poppers around, getting some mixture of good tailor, bonito and the odd salmon. So worth the spin off the rocks at the moment. With his swell coming up, there are a few spots you can actually fish a high tide and a big swell, and you'll catch drummer, bream and Ludrick at the moment. So definitely worth a shot there. And when that swell dies down, definitely go and give a snapper off the rocks. It'll fish pretty well, I think, off the rocks for a snapper. After this bit of blow, that's for sure. The water's a little bit dirty down towards the south there, around towards Boat Harbour Ruby. So the snapper will probably get inshore there, but you're going to have to wait for that swell to knock off a little bit. maybe Sunny Corner there at 1 mile might fish pretty well after this big swell doesn't sort of wrap around there as much. That's for sure. Now on the offshore scene, there were some good fish caught in the last 2 days because that's allowed obviously people to get out. Some really nice snapper around. The water's a bit clear at Broughton, but there's some really nice snapper in the shallow. Some absolute beauties. I know of a few fish caught up to 7 kilos this week on plastics. So if you're keen on doing that, I don't think it's going to be viable Saturday. But like I said, Sunday might be able to get out there and have a crack. I did hear of a couple of big kings at Broughton this week as well. A couple of Spiros jumped in around the sisters and saw a couple of really beauties. They reckon they were 20 kilos plus. So some good kings around. If you could get up to Edith, I think the snapper fishing will be good, but wait after this blow, and I think it'll be good up there on the plastics as well. Worth throwing a stick bait up there. The water's still pretty warm, about 21 degrees. Chance of a cobia, I actually heard of a big one lost again this week, whilst a customer was snapper fishing with plastics, had it on for an hour and chewed through the leader. So still chance of a cobia at this time of year, that is for sure. Now, closer to home around the islands there, like I said, in the last couple of weeks, there's been some good tail around Little Island. If you want to throw some baits in the washes there at first light, some Holgaris, even troll some hard bodies around there, you will catch some good tailor on first light if you're keen on doing that. Rat Kings on the southern corner there, plenty of Rat Kings at the moment. Fingal there, Fingal's fishing pretty well, same sort of deal in the washes there. A few salmon getting up on the point there for those guys trolling. To be worth a snapper fish down there. Fortunately, this weekend, I don't think many boats are going to get out wide. It's just not going to happen this week, unfortunately. I know a few boats today, Friday, they're heading to the shelf. Currents backed off, going out there to do a bit of barcod fishing. It is the time of year to get into the barries, so that's on my agenda in the next couple of weeks, that's for sure. So definitely worth a shot doing that very, very soon. And we might see a couple of yellowfin turn up. I think it's about 4 to 5 weeks away, just with that water. There'll be still striped marlin on the shelf if you're keen on doing that, but haven't heard any reports this week. But anyway, that's it for this week. It'll be a good weekend to fish in the bay, maybe a bit of rock fishing out of the swell. But apart from that, we've got plenty of tackle. You can come in and buy heaps of new product, that's for sure. Anyway, that's it for this week. We'll talk next week.